Okay, so we're just going to work down some of these columns on old business and new business. First item of business is actually on old business. It's about challenging situations. Alan and I made an SLA and we just want to disseminate this. We don't take any bookings under 1,000 US dollars. The reason for that is direct bookings often cause a lot of mismanagement in terms of how the calendar is synced and in terms of how payouts flow, and so they have downstream consequences. So we agreed at a $1,000 limit for any direct bookings. Is there any discussion about that before we advance this topic any further, make it into SLA?
No.
Okay, all right. If there's
Wait.
yes, okay, it's a graphic.
So the minimum value is $1,000.
Yeah, the minimum value has to be $1,000, or we just ask, please just book on Booking.com, Airbnb, or any other automated platform.
If they our repeater, so for
Yes.
3-5 times.
Yes. Okay. The reason is this, guys, because a lot of overbooking situations happen because of calendar mismanagement. If that repeater decides to cancel, right, and we don't take that thing off the calendar, or whatever happens, we can give a discount through Airbnb, I think. But the problem is that essentially, okay, the problem that we're facing is that I've noticed some reservations are not going through, and also it creates a finance problem because they say that they're going to pay. We don't know who they're paying. Are they paying the host? Are they paying Bukit Vista? Are they paying when they show up? So it's a bit messy, and also it requires a bit of overhead per person to do this. Okay, so that's the idea. We have so much of our system is automated right now. So much of the booking it should go into finance, it should go into revenue management. So let's say we had $3,000 through direct bookings, like we do, but it doesn't show up right now on revenue. So we don't know where that money is, right? Or at least not everybody knows where that money is. Maybe some people do, but not everybody does. But if we follow the system, then everybody should know where everything is flowing to. That's the idea behind direct bookings. Okay. Any further discussion on this?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Chandra.
Well, my question is almost same with traffic. What about the external guests that don't want to pay through Airbnb, sir?
Ask them to extend through Airbnb, or we don't take their extension. The reason is also because of that. Because we have extension guests that then overbook with a guest because we never modified the Airbnb. Also, like the case with Amanda's case and being an ombak, there's extensions and then the owner gets involved, like, where's my extension money? Oh, we made a direct deal. I don't see it on the calendar. And then there's trust issues too as well, right? So everything needs to be transparent. Everything needs to go onto a record where everybody has access to it. I think these types of situations are becoming leaks, and they're creating tensions. Amanda, being an ombak, brought that up. She's like, I heard the guest extended. I should be able to look and say, if I don't see it on the calendar, then it didn't happen, right? But if they are extended, imagine you're an owner and it shows all empty dates, and then actually Bukit Vista took bookings for it, but because maybe some reason we forgot to put it on, might be an honest mistake, then they start questioning, okay, what else do I not see? So in these particular cases, I think it's just easier if everything just goes and it's shown online.
Yeah.
If it's a high value reservation, like a long-term thing, maybe we can make an exception for it. It could be worthwhile. But in general, let's try to stick to this. If you do see reasons that this shouldn't be followed, please just bring it up on new business, okay? Okay, great.
Okay.
It's already been made into an SLA, so that part is covered. I just wanted to bring it up. The secretary has disappeared now, so I'll be the secretary for the moment. I'll go ahead and delete this out. Okay, so Tendi talked about this last time, which was this last minute request. Sorry to jump around, but I'd like to make a motion to start a new area on this guild. This is what I call the reservation case study area. So let me show you what I mean. So a lot of times we have special cases, and we don't have a name for them, right? We're like, hey, you know that case when you get a last minute thing and then you da-da-da-da-da. So what I thought about is we're gonna give every case a name, and we'll use animal names, right? So for example, Tendi's case, which he's brought up last time, a person makes a last minute booking, we're unable to take the booking. What animal name do you want to give that case, Tendi?
Uh, Beer.
Deer. Okay, Kijang. Okay, we'll call that a deer case. So, yeah, Chandra's laughing. She thinks this is cute. Okay, Chandra, would you be able to open up the reservation case study from the link shared at the top of New Business on Leadership and SLAs? That will bring you to this page. And then can we then, Chandra, put the word deer here? Okay, perfect. And then what we can do now is we can copy and paste. So what we'll do is we will copy what the problem is that Tendi has illustrated, and I'll go ahead and cut that out, and I will move this over here as just a demonstration. And then the solution, which we discussed about last time, is here too, right? So this is the solution. Hey, Alvin, welcome in. We're talking about animals. Okay, so in a deer situation, it's basically, what do we call a deer? A deer is a last minute request. The guest asks for the guest asks for something that we don't have. So what should we do? This is what we should do. This is the answer. So this is a deer case. Let's go back up over to the guild meeting again. This is Rizky's case, right? Rizky brought up the case of somebody books and then they alter, and then there's a Toki accuracy problem because there's bookings on both sides. Am I right? To Alvin. Okay, let me just ask Alvin. Alvin, this is what happens when somebody books. They alter, and then on Toki, both the booking, the original booking, and the alteration shows up on Toki. Is that correct?
So basically, we hold it manually because it's an overbooking, right? I think in this case, it's Rizky just want to make sure why there's two hold in different properties.
Okay. All right. We need a name for this. Alvin, what do you want to call this type of case? We need an animal.
This one?
Yeah.
I'll call it, what is it called?
Animal.
Huh?
The animal.
What's the dictionary?
Okay. We'll call it a turtle.
What? Teddy bear?
A rabbit.
Alvin.
It's multiple.
A what?
A rabbit. It's
A
multiplying.
rabbit. Okay, it's a rabbit. It's multiplying. Okay, Mrs. Secretary, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and write rabbit on the reservation case study, and then let's go ahead and put Rizky's case, and that is called a rabbit from now on. Okay? Okay, so what's the solution to a rabbit, Alvin?
We discussed it before. Once is actually, there's not really a solution. We just need to report it on the finance. That's one of the that we can
sorry.
do.
Mrs. Secretary, sorry, I shouldn't have written anything. I'll allow the Secretary to go ahead and write that in. So please report it to finance, yeah? Perfect.
Yeah, report to finance.
Okay, thank you very much. And then now we can delete that from old business on our challenging situations. And then the next case, this one is Tendi's case about a response to a guest foreign language. Okay, Tendi, what do you want to call this?
Bird.
Bird is too general. We need a specific bird.
Okay. Bear.
Okay, this one's called a
This
bear.
one,
We
bear.
already have a bear.
Butterfly.
What is not clear to speak? Duck. Duck case.
Okay, a duck. All right, duck. Okay, Mrs. Secretary, let's go ahead and put the case of a duck. And the duck is a case, and if the Secretary can move Tendi's issue over there, should I respond? And what is the best answer at this moment for handling a duck?
We can use the Google Translate.
Okay, so do we write it twice? Okay, there's I think a few options. We can write it in English and also in the language of the guest, or we can just write in the language of the guest. Which one works better according to you, Tendi?
I think just the translate is work better because the translate.
Okay, just the Google Translate then. Is there any discussion about this solution? Okay, and if there's no discussion, then we will.
I suggest both.
Suggest both, yeah? Okay, so Tenny suggests both. What we ended up saying, I think, last time was this. You can have a urgent case and a not urgent case. If it's not urgent, you can use both. If it's urgent and you need to work quickly, then like more of a formal and relaxed, right? So formal, you can use both languages, both English and the guest's native language. and the more relaxed case just translate into the guest, or what should the relaxed case be? English or the guest native language?
Yes. Yes.
Guest language, yeah? Okay. Is there any discussion? I think English will work actually. English is faster and they can hit Google Translate on their
Oh,
side.
yeah.
Okay. So, let's say the formal case is the guest language through a translation and English, and then the relaxed case is just in English. Okay? So that's the idea of a duck. Just to see. That's my motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, it's been seconded. Okay, is there any further discussion? Okay. If you're in favor of that, please raise your hand. Okay, great. Okay, so that's how we handle a duck. Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, let's keep on going. Mrs. Secretary, we can now delete that as part of old business. Next part, Reservation Rehab. So Reservation Rehab is ongoing right now. We're creating new training programs for new candidates. We have one now for Riyadh that's actually pretty in-depth. It starts bringing together some of the learning videos, indexes, and we're going to essentially get a much better program for new hires that are... The idea is to compress the experience of, let's say, 6 months down to a few weeks. So in just like a few weeks, they get 6 months of experience. Next part is the reservation recovery process. So I'd like to just highlight and show everybody how we plan to do this. So essentially the idea is to have a full cycle. Right now we're undergoing part of that cycle. The first part of the cycle is actually to do the rehab. Currently I think there's a few more people we need to do rehab with. There's Maha, and I think D1 has not completed it yet. But this is essentially what I think the cycle can be. We start with rehab, so we figure out if there's any knowledge gaps. If there's knowledge gaps, we intend to fix that during rehab. Then we want to work on problem solving here in the guilds. The guild is an area where we discuss about problems and we work on solutions to solve these problems, and we figure out how to create solutions. And each of our solution is an animal, right? So that's like the idea behind the guild. And then how do we know if this is working? Well, we have two sources right now. We have this Trello board that shows basically, we have this Trello board that I think, I don't know where this is coming from. Does anybody know where I'm sorry, Alvin, I know we talked about it before, but just blame my memory. Where do these cards come from?
This from content team, which they use the daily content, daily doctor listing.
Okay.
They check data inquiries, right?
Perfect. Okay. So when this still shows up, this becomes the material that we study to fix in Reservation Guild. So we're trying to get this down to 0, right? So that would be an ideal case. Simultaneously, we're also trying to get the unconverted revenue potential over here on this stack. We're trying to get that to be as low as possible too as well. So if everything works, then what we should see is that this unconverted stack goes down, and also the content doctor cards also go down. Do I have a second on this? Is this a good plan? Okay, it's been seconded by Rafik. Is there any more discussion about if this is a good plan or not?
No.
Okay, all right. If you believe this is a good plan, please vote in favor for it now. Okay, all right, Alvin. Okay, that's where we are now. Since we have clarity, we have a mission, and we have buy-in from the team. So this is essentially how we accomplish that project of getting the higher inquiry conversion rate. Would you agree with that, Alvin? Okay, all right, great. So we're making some progress then. Okay, let's go over to the next section then. Okay, we have a reservation recovery process. I'm an idiot. I just deleted my guild paper. Sorry.
You delete it?
No, I just closed it. Sorry,
close
I closed it. Yeah, I didn't delete it. Okay, so let's take a look at new business now. Okay, new business, the first item has already been completed. The new item business is that we created this case study. I motion that we just move this case study now up to the top so that there's a link that we can refer to it at the top of the SLA. So my motion is to move it here in the related libraries. Do I have a second on that? Okay, it's been voted in. Mrs. Secretary, let's go ahead and take the reservation case study and then paste it up here under the related library so that we have links of resources so that people who come into reservations have something to study. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next order of business. Okay, this goes to Chandra. Chandra, we need a framework from you about the design thinking exercise.
Yeah, one second. Let me just put it
Okay, while Chandra is getting that ready, let's go over to the next topic. It's, all right, this is the one that we, Chandra, when you're ready, just go ahead and cut in again. This is related to the listing family index. So this is the proxy to available, unavailable properties. I'm currently a little bit slow on opening this, but Chandra, is your side ready?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and share your screen and show us what you got.
Okay, so actually I'm still building the visualization of this, but
Okay.
if you don't mind, I could explain first, then
Sure.
in the next week we could just practicing on it.
Sounds good. Go ahead, Chandra.
Okay, so actually design thinking is okay, the design thinking is basically the way of thinking, the way of to find a solution based to find a solution that is more customer and user oriented. So the difference between this kind of design thinking and also with the usual discussion is that because in the design thinking there are some steps and process that the people joining it should be done first, so it could be called as design thinking. And in the usual discussion is like discuss the case, right? So in the design thinking we have like 4 steps that we have to fulfill it in order to call it a design thinking.
Okay.
So actually, to be honest, I'm not really sure that the design thinking could be very impactful to this particular field because usually this kind of method is being used in IT company that is very related to the development of something, so on and so forth. But what I'm thinking is that because we as the reservation, we have like a users or a customer that use our services. So I think this kind of design thinking can be done. It is doable with a certain level of adaptation in the practicing level. So the good news with design thinking is that this kind of method is very get along with an agile method in agile project management. So based on my experience, I use both. So this design thinking and also agile methodology is complementary to each other. Before we starting an iteration, usually we using design thinking to gathering more ideas and also to finding some leaks that we can fix on the next iteration. So design thinking is basically divided into 4 steps. First of all is empathizing. Second of all is ideate, and the third is prototyping, and the next one is the testing process. So yes.
Chandra, I'm going to need to cut you off, and it's not because we don't want to hear you. I think this is a great opportunity for you to give a workshop, actually.
Yes.
I think this is workshop material. So I would like to invite you to actually have a workshop and explain to the company, and this is a good leadership involvement opportunity to tell us and demonstrate to us what design thinking is. I think everybody here would be really, really happy to see that. In the scope of this meeting, I'm just trying to keep it a little bit short and a bit focused. I think this is workshop material. So can I just ask if you can make this into a workshop and share it with the company?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so, sir. I think I need to building the visualization as well to make it more clear.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay, so Mr. Secretary, in this case, let's do this. I would ask, and do you accept the nomination to make a workshop on it?
Yeah, I accept the nomination.
All right, thank you. So let's have Chandra give us a workshop on design thinking. I think that's great. It links to Agile. It has a lot of good benefits, and I think it will evolve our company towards a more customer-centric focus. Regarding what you just said about software development, Agile is also for software development, but it works really great for any type of innovation work. So I'm sure design thinking will have similar benefits as well. Okay, let's go over to the next discussion topic, which is about listing families. We have a listing family in... Yes, sir, go ahead. To Tendi. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. Thank you, Tendi, for stepping on my toes. There is the screen right there. Okay, so currently we have these listing families. Has anybody had any issues with finding an alternative property in the past week?
No.
Nope. Okay. We'll see. Yeah. we'll take a look at the reservation cards later to see. But okay, so this is just to also create awareness about listing families. I would like to also add this to the library as a resource for everybody doing reservations. Can I get a second on that? Okay, it's been seconded by Rafik. Okay, pretty much everyone agrees. Okay, Mrs. Secretary, let's go and do this. I would like to move the listing family index as a, okay, all right, I think it's already, oh, wow, it's already happened. Oh, thank you. Wow, very fast. Thank you, Mrs. Secretary. All right, next case is related to Bayou about BDRR. I don't know anything about that yet, actually. Yeah. Tendi, do we have an update from Bayou about manual entry onto BDRR on alterations?
I already asked Mas Bayu about that. Mas Bayu still working on that. So
Okay.
also about the alteration and anything, we'll record it in the BVR. So and then maybe we can like limited access, just like a few or yeah, not edit, just the admin can edit.
Okay, so we don't access BVRR to edit alterations anymore.
No,
Yeah, but you still try to find that way.
Okay,
But it's not. Mas Bayu is don't know yet about that.
okay. I need a conclusion. Either we know, don't know, or okay. What's the best thing we can do? Don't know. Okay.
So the point of Danny said is same like Tokit.
Okay.
Tokit as me and Bayu is admin and administrator and then the property manager.
Okay.
So I can put everything over there.
Oh,
So,
okay. So only the admin
on
has
this
access.
one,
Okay.
Bayu, I think we'll try to make the BPR admin.
I see. Okay, got it. Okay. So there'll be limited access
Yes.
to whoever can actually
So
alter the.
if
Okay.
something wrong, only this person. Yeah, right.
Is responsible for
Yeah.
it. Then you can't share your passwords with everyone.
No.
Because Rafik often does that. I'll log you in. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Okay. So that's two consciousness. So Rafik will we're moving towards a vision where there's limited admin,
Yeah.
and if you're an admin, you cannot share your password with anybody,
Yeah.
and you cannot share your account with anybody because that will all be on you. Okay. Next type of conversation is Tendi. What do you do if you get an alteration for change date, but the date didn't move on Toki after they get, okay, the block's still on the old reservations? What do you do? All right, good question. All right, I think Alvin knows the answer to this one. So, Tendi, what do you want to call this?
What's called prawn.
Prawn. Okay, all right.
Udang.
Okay, so Mr. Secretary, let's go ahead and create a new case. It's going to be called a prawn. And this is the case that Tendi, yeah, it's going to, we're going to call it a prawn. Does anybody have any solution for this? So there's an okay, Alvin, go ahead and tell us what you think the solution is.
First of all, we have to check on the toolkit first, on the logs. Is it automatically from system or we put it manually? If it's from system, usually they're gonna change, but it's gonna take a little bit of time. I have some problem too yesterday about the alteration. It takes around 10 minutes, but it's gonna change in the end too. But if the logs in the toolkit, it's manual by the user, just like in case that this is me or someone else, so we have to change it manually again or alter it manually.
Okay, so there needs to be a manual alteration. Is there any more discussion about this case? Okay, if there's no further discussion, then can we move it? I see Tendi's on a phone call right now, so let's. Okay, oh, Tendi's back. Okay, Tendi,
Yeah.
welcome back. So apparently, you just need to wait 10 minutes for Toki to update.
Yeah, I think but that's no change. Because this case also on traffic now. We enter for Pilakama. Yeah, to change that the next week, but the pocket is still there.
Okay, got it. The third option can be that there's no solution for the time being. Do we want to say that there's no solution, or is there? Yes. Okay, to Alvin.
Next question actually. On the logs of the toolkit, is it from system or from user?
I don't know.
Yeah. We have to check. So basically, we have to check first in case is it this system from Airbnb API or we put it manually. That's the first step. The second one that we have to that's the second one that we have to change it manually or not. But if it's already on system but it doesn't change at all, then we don't have any solution.
Okay, Mrs. Secretary, can you? Or is there any further discussion about that?
Yes, I want to discuss with Alvin how to check the log.
Maybe we can open talk it if you want.
Okay, here, what we'll do is this. I would like Alvin and Tendi to go ahead and have a sub-discussion about this. I'd like to nominate you two to have a sub-discussion. Once you finish, please report back and tell us what the best way to deal with the prawn is, okay?
Okay.
Okay, all right, let's keep on going. Do you guys accept the nomination?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
great. Okay, Mrs. Secretary, let's say for this particular case on the prawn, Tendi and Alvin will come back before the next meeting with the solution for this particular case. Next case, it is what do you do if you spend a special offer and you have that spinning wheels and it doesn't show the dates. Okay, Tendi, this is your case again. Thank you very much. What do you want to call this case?
Snail.
Okay, very good. Okay, so this is a snail. Mrs. Secretary, let's go ahead and put the snail on and put in Tendi's snail case. All right, is there any discussion about the snail? To Alvin? I think we had a solution, right, Alvin?
Yeah. We experienced this one too.
Okay.
So basically, we have to delete the dates first on the column of dates. There's an X symbol. We delete it first, then we put it again manually. So we can just like click the this or choose it. We have to delete it again.
Oh, so it is the all, yeah?
Yes, just delete all first, then you put it again manually. That's the only way
Yeah.
until now. I don't know if there's another problem.
Okay, I will try.
Okay, so Mrs. Secretary, I actually understand this case, and Alvin, basically, normally when you send a special offer, the dates are already locked in, right? So what you do is you have to cancel it out using the X, and so the calendar's clean, and then you put it back in manually, and then you hit send special offer, and then it will process.
This on the calendar of the Airbnb or this one?
No,
The special offer calendar.
I need a special offer.
The listing?
Yes, for the listing.
Yeah, I already know.
I think the best way is, Alvin, can I trouble you? Next time this happens, can you record your screen and show us?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, if
that's
it's
the best way to do it. So then the prawn or the snail will have a little video tutorial on what to do if you have a snail. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe, okay, since Tendi also understands this, whoever gets it first, can I nominate both Tendi and Alvin to do a video recording of what to do, a screen recording of what to do if you have a snail. So if you have it and it's ready, just tell the other person I got it so that they don't have to do it again. Yeah? So whoever finds a snail first, please put it on this paper and tell your friend that you found the snail. And that way they don't also record a second snail. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes out to Tendi and Alvin. Mrs. Secretary Chandra, can you go ahead and appoint Tendi and Alvin? They're going to go hunt for a snail. Okay, right, next question. This is Tendi. What do you do if a guest asks for a long-term price on a property? Okay, to Tendi, what do you want to call this case?
Snack.
Snake, because it's long, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mrs. Secretary, let's go ahead and put this as a new case. We'll call this a snake. And the snake, is there any discussion on this? Go ahead, Tendi.
Yeah, I just want to tell this case. Yeah, usually it's like I in the next shift. There's many inquiry for the long stay. Yeah, but I see on the PR arm there is no just the price, just the base price. So I want to know how many percent that we can offer the maximum price. Maybe the guest asking like they feel like a 7,000, but the guest asking for 5,000. Is it possible or not?
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Tendi, for stating that. Is there any further discussion on this? Okay, to Rafik? Oh, Rafik? No? Okay. Tendi. Oh, okay, to Chandra.
Yeah, I think the best way to answering the guests that need a discount is asking their budget first.
Yeah. Okay, all right, very good, Chandra. Thank you very much. To Tendi.
Yeah, if we got budget, how can decide? I need to know how minimum price that we can decide, how many percent that we can give maximum discount. Like that.
To Chandra again.
If we already know their budgets, we can like approximately we can discuss with our partner how much price that we can take, and if they could not take the budget, we can offer another property that fit their budget.
To Tendi again.
Yeah, but for the inquiry at the night, that's not possible, and that will be pending like until morning, and then in that still inquiry, and the guest will be become. I just want to like the quick step. Like we know the price, we send the special offer, and then done. They just need to accept.
Okay. All right. To Rafiq.
Yeah, because this is the Airbnb is depend from the response rate as well. So the first, for example, I have inquiry for 7,000 at Villa Tama, for example. So they're asking for a discount. I always say like this. Okay, this villa is available based on your traveling. So I will prove first, and when you come back, let me know how much it's your budget, so we can send a special offer later.
Yeah. Okay.
So because if you pre-approve it, you can send a special offer later.
That's right. Okay. All right. Let me add into this. So Tendi, I understand. I think this is okay. I think for a long-term deal, the guest is not going to make a hasty decision. I think for a long-term deal, they're probably going to be with us for even a few days if necessary, because that could save quite a bit of money. So the most, in terms of a sales funnel, the only thing you really need to do is to engage them. You just need to get their interest. Like, yes, I will give you a discount, but what is your best offer? This is more strong than asking for a budget. This is saying like, give me your best offer, and then I can give you a discount. So then you wait. If they are not interested, then if they're just wasting your time, they won't say anything. But if they do come back with a number, then you have an offer, you go to the owner, and you say, all right, I got an offer now. Do you want to take it? That's the first thing. This can be a general case to apply for any situation that's not inside the normal boundary point. So if they want a special deal, like they want a discount on long-term booking, or they want to bring extra people or whatever it is, just say, what is your best offer? This is going to cost differently than what I'm normally used to. The best thing I can do for you right now is I'll pre-approve you for the dates at full price. If you send me your best offer, I can then negotiate in the course of a day or two with the owner. You're right. If we did have the number right away, then we can just go right away. Ding, here you go. But I know every long-term guest always negotiates, even if there's a long-term rate. So a lot of the long-term rates, like at Cerita Indah, were already built in, but they still negotiate. So then you're sort of always caught in a situation. I think it's okay. I think anybody asking for a long-term rate, they will wait as long as they know that we're engaged. If we are not engaged, then they will shop again to another person. Generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, I think pay for 5 days and get 2 free is pretty fair. So 5 for 2 is like a weekly discount, right? And then it's usually like for a monthly rate, it's usually pay for 20 and get 10 days for free. Why? Because normal occupancy is about 66% anyways at full price. So you're essentially getting the same value, but with one reservation instead of the number of reservations we take. So generally for an intelligent owner, that makes sense, right? I get 66% occupancy, so I get 66% for a full price deal. That's a rule of thumb. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Mrs. Secretary, let's go ahead. I think we can put that into the case study. So for a snake, ask the budget, discuss with revenue management, and a rule of thumb is generally 5 for 2, so they buy 5 nights at full price. We can probably give them 2. This needs to be confirmed with the owner, right? This is just something so that you have an intuition, but don't apply it until the owner agrees to it, because they might not be happy with that. But it's just a rule of thumb. Okay? Great. Okay, I think that pretty much covers all the Reservation Guild discussions that we have for today. We just need to appoint the next chairman for the next one. Let's see, July 17th will be our next meeting. Alvin, would you like to chair? Okay, all right. Alvin has been accepted the nomination for chair. Alvin, who would you like to secretary?
Robert, is it again? Sandra is secretary right now. You want it?
Yeah,
I'll manage it now.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Alvin, you were supposed to be secretary today. What did I do?
Yeah.
I apologize. I usurped you.
It's my fault. It's my fault for late.
Oh yeah, that's right. I win still. I'm still logically right. Okay. Okay. All right. So July 17th, Alvin will be the chairman. Secretary will be Jing, and the recorder will be probably Jing as well. I'll use the second machine here to record. Chris sends his apologies. He couldn't make it. He had to meet a owner. He's flying actually tonight back to Bali.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. I motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
Yes, I said it.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you at the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.